I am aware a very large part of frozen Russian assets are located in Belgium. Making these assets usable would finance the Ukrainian army for at least 2 more years, according to our assessment. It is about making clear to Russia that continuing this war of aggression is senseless.
Recently, the European Union found itself questioning how it will fund the Ukraine war for the coming 2 years. The Parliament discussed a lot and came up with few ideas.
I proposed 2 different options for this upcoming European Council, one based on assets and one based on EU borrowing, and we will have to decide which way we want to take, which route we want to take. But one thing is very, very clear. We have to take the decision to fund Ukraine for the next 2 years in this European Council.
After heavy discussion, the European Union devised a mastermind financial plan to financially exhaust Russia. However, how does EU aims to execute it? EU aims to use frozen Russian assets in Belgium to defeat Russia in the Ukraine war.
I am aware of the concerns of many governments in the European Union. I am aware of the concerns of the Belgian government in particular, where a large part of the frozen assets are located, and I take these concerns seriously. That is why we are consulting with each other. That is why I am consulting with our partners to dispel these concerns. I believe the proposal by the EU's Executive Commission is in full conformity with international law and also in conformity with our international obligations. It's not enough for us to dry up the Russian war machine's sources of income with further sanctions. It's not enough for us in Europe to continue our financial support for Ukraine as we have so far. It's not enough to put our whole political weight into the peace negotiations. We are doing all that, without doubt. But clearly, the pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin must rise further in order to move him to serious negotiations. And it is precisely for that reason that we need the decision by the European heads of state and government, and I will advocate for such a decision starting tonight in Brussels.
We are simply insisting on the fulfillment of the promises that were given to us. It was publicly stated that there would be no expansion of NATO to the east. And what happened? They did not care. There was one wave of expansion after another.
But the only question is, if Europe starts the war, unleashes this war, because that's not Ukraine. With Ukraine, we use some surgical means. We are trying to be really careful. Because you understand why. This is not a war in the direct sense of the word. And Europe, all of a sudden, wants to start a war, and if it does start a war, then very rapidly there might be a situation where we have no one to negotiate with.